That's a vibe. That's a vibe. That's a vibe. Oh, that's a vibe. Yeah, yeah. That's a vibe. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. That's a vibe. Yeah, yeah. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I hope you're all having a lovely day or night, whatever time of day it is. And today I have a makeup tutorial for you guys, and it is featuring the Jaclyn Hill Morphe Brushes collaboration palette. I'm really excited to play with this because I originally had the first Jaclyn Hill Morphe Brushes collaboration, and I was and still am a really big fan of that palette. So I'm definitely excited to play with this new palette. Congratulations to Jaclyn and to Morphe for the collaboration. A quick overview on the palette. This palette has 35 shades. Here we go, and it is going to retail at $38. It will be released on the 21st of June on morphebrushes.com. If you guys are a subscriber of mine and have watched a few of my makeup tutorials, you might or might not know that I am a Morphe Brushes affiliate, so I do have an affiliate code with them. It is Alva that will give you a discount, and I also make a small percentage of that sale, just being completely honest with you guys. So if you guys are going to purchase it and you use my code, if you want to, thank you. Let's go ahead and get into it. Just kind of seeing what colors are in here that I kind of want to use today. I really like this pink shade right here. That one I believe is called Faint, and then Sissy is right here, and that one's really pretty too. But I also want to come down here in the blues and maybe play with Pool Party and with Jada. So we shall see what we come up with. It is summertime, so I do want to do something fun. I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is prime my eyeshadow using Too Faced Shadow Insurance. And I'm just using my fingers to apply it. So one thing that the palette does not have that I really wish it did have is just a matte like skin tone color, at least for me. This color right here is actually a shimmer. This light color right here that is called Beam is a shimmer. And then In Light is kind of like of a satin finish. But because I do want to use a lot of shades in the palette, I'm going to apply In Light lightly on my lid. And this is just going to serve as like a base color. And the brush that I'm using right now is a Wet n Wild brush. I believe this is like an eyeshadow brush from their collection. Alright, now to go in my crease. To go in my crease, I'm going to be using this NYX Cosmetics brush. This is a little blending brush from them, and it just says here number 16. Not sure, but it's just a little regular blending brush. And I'm going to go ahead and start working in my crease, and I'm going to be using obviously transition shades. For that, I'm sure you guys have seen this 1,000 times. I'm going to be using this color right here. This is called Creamsicle, and it looks really good actually. And I used it yesterday when I was playing around with the palette. I really like the way it looks. I know my brows look really scary, and I get dragged a lot about my brows. But I just like the way they look once my makeup is all said and done. So I'm just taking this Creamsicle color and applying it all over my crease and just kind of trying to blend it out towards the top. So I do a lot of back and forth motions, and I'm not too picky when I'm doing my transition shades because they are what they are, transition shades, so it's not like the center of attention of the eyeshadow look, if you know what I mean. It's not the main focus of the eyeshadow look, so as long as it's just blended and you see the array of color there. Alright, so I'm going to leave it as that, and to clean up a little bit underneath my brow, I'm going to get just a regular face powder. This is a Frankie Rose Cosmetics face powder, and I'm just going to clean up under the brow. And then this brush that I'm using is from Lab to Beauty. Alright, now I'm going to go back in the crease just with a different color, and I'm going to be getting the color Butter, which is right next to Creamsicle, and it is this color right here. It's almost like a really orangey, corally, light skin tone color. Oh, this is a really nice color. It's really, really warm and just like pretty on the skin, I think. And the brush that I'm using for this is does not have a brand on it. It just says 217. Has no brand on it, but it's just kind of your regular blending brush, just a little bit more prickly. So I'm just overlapping the first creamsicle color and also trying to just go a little bit higher up to almost give it a little bit of an ombre effect. Alright, now I'm going to start focusing on the outer corner of my eyes. I want to get kind of like a deep reddish color, and there's quite a few in this palette to choose from. I'm going to go for the color Hunts, which is this color right here. It's almost like an orangey reddish deep color. Why is it still beeping? Alright, and the brush that I'm going to be using is Lab 2 Beauty brushes. I'm a really big fan of their brushes. This one is called Strokes of Genius Crease Brush. So I'm just going to focus this like right here. And I'm taking it a little bit underneath my waterline. And I'm just gonna kind of stretch it out a little bit. And so that it doesn't look too blotchy towards right here, the center, I just kind of blend it a little bit more right there so that it could blend in well with the other colors too. And I try and keep most of the strong pigmentation just right here towards the outer edge. I'm going to go back in with this brush and sweep through. And that's what I'm gonna do for now. Now I'm going to do the like cut crease. I'm going to be using Frankie Rose Cosmetics concealer for this, and a little kind of synthetic concealer brush to draw out where I'm going to be cutting my half cut crease. So I just apply a little bit of concealer on the brush, and this is a NYX Cosmetics brush in case you're wondering, and it says number 14 on it. So the way that I like to do it is just kind of really concentrate on how it's going to look like when I'm looking straight, if that makes sense. Now with my eyes closed, I kind of have mine down now, but as far as yours, just try and see what would be most flattering for your eye shape when your eyes are open. Get what I'm saying? And I am doing just kind of a half cut crease, so I'm not going to take it all the way out. I'm just going to leave it kind of in the center. Kind of just try and make it as symmetrical as possible. I think there's a little bit more concealer on this one, and it also looks a little bit higher, so. Okay, so now moving on to the fun part, which is gonna be the color. All right, so I'm gonna get the pink first, and then I'm gonna be adding the teal color right next to it. So I'm going to get Sissy, which is this pink shade right there, and I'm gonna apply it wet. The brush I'm gonna be using for this is a fake MAC brush that I got off eBay literally years ago. I ordered like a 24 pack of brushes on eBay, and I thought they were gonna be just regular black brushes, and they had the MAC logo on them. Still have them to this day. So I'm gonna start filling in where I applied the concealer with the Sissy color, the Sissy eyeshadow, and I'm just gonna kind of focus it in the center and inner corner of it. I'm gonna try and leave the outer kind of empty, if that makes sense. I'm gonna actually just leave it like that and then go in with a more precise brush and get all of the corners of what is supposed to be the half cut crease. Because this brush is a little too fluffy for what I'm trying to do. I'm going with the brush that I originally used to cut my crease, and I'm going to be getting that Sissy color again. And almost like if I'm cutting my crease, but this time with the eyeshadow. So this is a pretty light pink. In the palette, it looks very almost deep and bright. But I would really consider it like a neutral, at least on my eyes. It looks pink for sure, but it's not as like crazy. It's not like a super vibrant pink. It could definitely be worn like on the daily, if you know what I mean. It's It's really pretty though. I really, really like it. Alright, now I'm going to be going in with the teal color, which I am very excited about. I'm going to be using this BH Cosmetics brush. This is called, doesn't have a name, it just says 7 on it, but I believe it's part of like their marble collection. And I'm going to go ahead and pick up Jada, which is this really bright teal right here. And I'm just going to apply it right next to the pink. And blend it in as I'm applying it too. So I'm definitely taking this teal and I'm bringing all the way out, kind of. Like it's completely overlapping the orangey warm shades. And I'm also going to bring it down underneath my waterline. And I'm going to go ahead and start kind of cleaning up the crease right here. So now that I'm looking at the shadow, I think it would look really pretty with almost like a dark blue on the edge. So I am going to take the dark blue in the palette. It is called Twerk. And I'm going to go ahead and use this Zoeva Luxe Shadow shader. So here is kind of the blue shadow, and I'm just gonna apply it like just a little bit to give it some color, give it some dimension. Party on my eyes right now. Alright, and to blend all of the shenanigans in, I'm gonna go back. And now what I'm going to do is really sharpen out this cut crease line so that it looks defined and so that it looks like it has a little bit more substance, a little bit more going on. I'm gonna be using the dark brown in the palette. It is called Mocha, and it is right here. This one's a little bit more cool tone. This one's a little bit more warm. I'm gonna be using the warmer one. I'm gonna be using a really little detail brush for this. This is a Morphe M250. And I'm gonna go ahead and wet my brush to really cut my crease out more. So I am trying to blend this out as I'm defining the crease line. Warning, my makeup always looks like shit before I finish it, so I like to just really press down and go over the cut crease line over and over and over again, and almost like blend as I do so. So now I'm actually going to take the black in the palette. It is called Abyss, and I'm going to go over the line very slowly just to really get it like detail looking. I'm going to go in and blend this out. And as I'm blending this out, I'm going to get another shade in the palette to kind of warm it up. I'm going to be using the shade Buns. Alright, I'm going to go back and reapply the colors real quick to really get them to pop a little bit more. Then I'm going to clean everything up and apply some eyeliner. I'm going to go back and get that blue, which is called Twerk, and apply it on the outer edge. I don't want to use any glitters or anything. I kind of just want to use the palette itself, but regularly I would definitely use some glitters. Just because I think it would just really spice it up and just make it look a bunch of times better. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply the eyeliner on this eye real quick. Some mascara. For my mascara, I'm going to be using the Benefit Roller Lash. I'm going back and applying some of the turquoise color. I'm going to go back with the color Twerk and apply it like by the eyeliner. If you know what I mean. Like just dab it on real quick. Okay, for my lashes, I'm going to be using Classy Lash. And I'll have the name down below because they don't have the name on them. And the glue that I'm going to use is from Iris Beauty. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and clean up down here real quick underneath my eyes. Just using a little makeup remover. I'm basically gonna erase, take off everything that was on here. I'm just gonna go ahead and get a head start and apply my inner eyeliner. I'm gonna be using the Milani Stay Put eyeliner. This is, I believe, the color Hooked on Espresso. It's like a really dark brown, almost black. Alright, I'm going to start working on my face real quick. I'm going to be priming my face with Too Faced Hangover RX. And I really like to focus a really hydrating primer like this underneath my eyes, because that is where I get most dry. And for my foundation, I'm going to be using the Armani Pressed Fabric, and this is in the shade 7.5. A damp beauty blender real quick. And then on top of this foundation, I'm also going to be applying Hourglass Stick Foundation. This is shade Sand. And now for the concealer, I will be using Tarte Cosmetics Shape Tape in Medium Sand. And I'm going to focus this right underneath my eyes. And then once I get my concealer done underneath my eyes, I'll go ahead and do all of the bottom eyeshadow. I'm doing this kind of sloppy, to be honest with you guys. For my contour, I don't have a contour stick on me, so I'm just not going to do it today. Anyways, I contour with powder, so that will be fine. Alright, I'm going to get a face powder. This is Frankie Cosmetics in the color Spice. And just buff this all away. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start bronzing up my face. I look like a ghost. This is Frankie Cosmetics Contour Kit. I usually use the two darkest shades. For my inner corner, I'm going to be using the color Faint. This little brush I'm using is from Morphe. It is the E19. I'm going to go ahead and elongate the blue eyeliner. So, like, connect it a little bit lower. Alright, now I'm going to get to working on my bottom shadows. I'm going to go ahead and pick up, actually, the Royal Blue in the palette, which is called Twerk. And I'm going to focus this like on the outer edge. And this brush is one of the fake MAC ones that I got off eBay. It's just a really little detail brush. I'm going to be using a Morphe R39 to just kind of buff it out. And I'm just bringing it in just because it looks pretty. Alright, now I'm going to apply my contact lenses. I'm going to go in with the lightest shade in the Frankie Rose palette and just like dab it on. And I'm going to apply some mascara on my bottom lashes. Alright, real quick, I'm going to go through my brows. Just because after like powders and all of that, my brows are already kind of like bold as brows. So I'm just going to kind of fix this one up here because I don't feel like it's completely symmetrical to my other brow. I'm actually going to use the Anastasia brow wiz for this. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and spray some setting spray real quick, and I'm going to go back after the setting spray has kind of sunk into my skin and go back with my blush and my highlighter and then my lip color. I'm going to be using the Morphe Prep and Set. Alright, so for my blush, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Trios, and this is the Berry Adore. And from this little palette, I'm going to go ahead and pick out the color Exotic, which is the middle color. So this color right here, I'm just gonna dab it like that. Ooh, that was rough. Buff it out a little bit. And for my highlight, I'm going to be using Jouer Cosmetics Rose Gold. I used this highlighter yesterday and I really like the way it looked. So I'm going to go ahead and use it again. And I'm going to be using a Morphe brush. This is an M510. There we go. Alright, and for my lip color, I'm going to be using the I Love Sarai ColourPop collaboration. This is a 951. And to give it just a little bit of more like, I guess, a lightness in the middle, I'm going to be using a different one. I went ahead and picked up Lulu from Lime Crime Makeup, and I'm just going to apply this in the center. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and let that dry. Then I'm going to be resetting my makeup with more makeup spray, and then I will be done. Alright guys, well that concludes this makeup look. This ended up being a really like colorful, vibrant, and playful look. To be honest with you guys, when I was in the process of doing it, I was like, this is coming out looking crazy, but I just kind of trusted the colors, the little vision that I had in doing this makeup look, although it wasn't pre-planned. And I came up with this, so I hope that you guys liked it. It was definitely interesting take to do on this palette. There's so many pretty neutrals that you could use in this palette if you want to do that. Here's kind of just the color grade that the palette came with, and of course there's some brights in here that you could use to play with, kind of like how I tried to do today. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. That would help me out so much. I would really appreciate that. If you're not subscribed to me and you would like to be, go ahead and subscribe. That would mean a lot to me. Thank you very much. And that's pretty much it. I will see you guys next time. Bye.